Hi guys, welcome back to another video. This video is inspired by a Mad Hatter look. I've been trying to do this makeup look for about how many months now, and I've never been able to do it. I've been told to, I started trying to do it years ago, but didn't think I was talented enough to do it. And I was like, I really want to do a Mad Hatter look. I saw it on TikTok, I saw people doing it. And I've also watched Alice in the Wonderland so many times. And I was like, I need to somehow do some sort of series of this, doing like looks from them. And seeing how each look is. So obviously I said, okay, obviously I'm going to make it my time to get something done in this and actually get some makeup looks out. I've actually made a plan, which I'm going to follow, because I actually made these face charts. And for people who don't understand, face charts are the big incorporative things that we use in the makeup industry. And people who don't know why we use face charts. Face charts are like the number way of planning out what you're going to do on someone without having to do it on someone. Because it can be really time consuming getting a client and then doing their makeup look without having to see what the makeup look would look like. Like, you can't just do it off head. You sometimes have to plan what you're gonna do. So obviously this makeup look, I had to really put myself out there and actually plan it, and I did it today. I'm so proud of myself because I actually sat down today and focused on making this makeup look, because I was at college and I was like, I had no client, and it was just like I had no client to do my assessments. I was like, let's focus on this, let's get this done. And I was like, yeah, we might as well start with this. So I made my little plan. I put what shade each bit was going to be. So as you can see, I put what shade on what palette I got it from. And so I know what shade I'm going to use, and I'm able to recreate the look. Because often when you do makeup looks, and I used to do this a lot. When I did makeup looks, I used to wing it. Winging is good, but winging can be really bad, because winging means like doing something that you don't normally do and doing it in like a scenario where you're just doing it for the sake of doing it. And these videos should not be winged, obviously, unless you're doing a winged eyeliner. Obviously videos like the sexy home wrecking makeup look, that one was planned. And other videos I've done are planned. Like the Halsey video is also planned. Like the Billie Eilish video is also planned. Marie Lindemann video is also planned. Thick Brain is also planned. So I did research that before I do my videos. Because I used to make videos and I used to just go with the flow. And that's cool, but it's also really bad, because when you want to do something, you want to have a plan of how it's going to look, because sometimes it won't turn out the way you want it to. An example of this is a video I posted on YouTube, and it was kind of like a short clip video of a jokey comment I made about doing a makeup look to go and see my boyfriend, and it came out as like a clown look, and it just did not look right. It did not look good. I think that was the worst makeup look I've ever done, and I would say to people, don't do something like that. Don't do like a last minute planning where you just go with the flow. Do something that will kind of make you not have to worry about what the next step is going to be. You can do freestyling if you want to do freestyling. Like, I'm not saying if you're going to like a group event with your friends, you can't freestyle, because I freestyle when I'm going to a group event with my friends. Plan my makeup looks when I'm going to see friends of mine, or when I'm going to do other things like social events. I actually just go with the flow. So yeah, so often it's like, oh, you look really nice today. Didn't plan it. I'm so excited to do this makeup look because obviously Mad Hatter was the first actual novel that I was read to in school. So I'd never read it myself, but someone actually read it to me in primary school. And obviously I know what the story's about because I used to find it on the TV, scrolling on the TV. They used to show the cartoon version, and the cartoon version was really what I watched. I never watched the 2016 or the 2010 version. Never watched it. But I only watched the cartoon version, so I knew what the storyline was. I knew about the Cheshire Cat. I knew about the Queen of Hearts. I knew about everyone in the book. I knew about Alice's life, like how she was like, like she was going down a rabbit hole, and then she found a bottle that told her to drink me. Like, I knew about these, and I knew about the white rabbit. I knew about everything because I had like sat in class and I would listen to my teacher reading this to me, and this was like a childhood book. Like, I had to be honest with you, I don't think anyone who went to school with me did not know the book. And even if you didn't go to like the exact same primary school as me, you would know the book because it was like a big British novel. Like, it was like this big British novel that you would read to a little kid, and it was like this excitement you would get. It always had like a moral story, like you don't know what to expect, the unexpected, it's always the unexpected, maybe the scariest things, or it's the biggest jumps that might actually be the best thing, or you might meet like random things on the way and you experience different expectations, different things, and though it'll be hardship, there's also good times where you make good friends, and that's basically the whole point of the novel. So it was kind of weird because for us, reading it was kind of like we didn't understand certain parts of it, like the backstory about the 19-year-old Alice, how she lost her father, and is having troubled dreams and stifling expectations of society, and she receives an unwanted marriage proposal at her father's garden party. We noticed that the small white rabbit was there, and it was like wearing a coat and it had like a watch, but it always complained about being late. It had to be to the tea party on time. And I think the rabbit was like a signification of her dad, and how her dad was always like, I need to be on time, I need to get to the next place on time. So it was kind of really good, like reading the book. And like when we were younger, it was, as we got older, we started to notice what the story was about, like we started to notice things that we didn't notice before, and the book became like a really beautiful book for many of us, and it actually taught us a lot of things about life, about expectations, about meeting people. It was amazing. So I said, I'm going to turn this into reality, and I'm going to turn it into one of these reality series where I will talk about each character and why each character signifies something special. But I'm going to start with the most commonly portrayed as very like skeptical character, the Mad Hatter, today, because the Mad Hatter is the most he's essentially the most favoritized character. He's always portrayed as this wacky, unpredictable, crazy, eccentric personality, quirky, always changing his ways, personality, and people just love to see his unpredictability. And I think this was like a really interesting thing, like just showing unpredictability, showing how crazy may not actually be scary. It might actually be quite fun. It's like childlike. So yeah, it's like a childlike behaviour. It's a childlike thing that I wanted to show. So I'm gonna get myself ready right now. So yeah, I'm gonna start off with my eyebrows, obviously, because I feel like the eyebrows, the eyes are the essential part of it. So another thing that really inspired me with this whole makeup look was actually the Martinez song, Mad Hatter. And obviously Melanie Martinez is known for making very alternative music. Like, her music's very extremely different, and like she always has this different kind of vibe of every song she makes. So obviously, me personally, when I heard Melanie Martinez's song, it was like 2020 and it was COVID-19, and I heard her music and I was like, wow, I didn't know who Melanie Martinez really was, really. I just kind of just knew that one song. I knew Crybaby. It was kind of like an interesting thing for me, because Crybaby was kind of like this kind of like, it was like a different vibe. It was like, I remember everyone who I knew who was like a Melanie Martinez fan, they felt the music way more than people who didn't feel the music at all. And it's partly because her music was to tell a story, and the way she tells her stories are like very like in a eccentric way. And it was quite interesting because when I heard her music, I felt like she was trying to tell people that she was brave enough to stand up for what she believes in and who she is. And she was trying to stand up for the bullying that she suffered from years ago and that the treatment she got. And I thought that was quite wow. Like, I thought that was a big sign of like her successes with her music. I thought it was so successful. And she has her unique style. So when she released Mad Hatter, I knew that she was going to take the song to a whole new level. So when I heard the song in 2020, and I was like, okay, let's type it in, let's listen to the song. And then when she released her recent album, Portals was her recent album, listened to the whole song. K12 is really good, Crybaby, After School was good too. I have to admit, Melanie Martinez, when she came out with all these like different types of music and how she sung and her style was so authentic, I already knew that she was going to be like a different kind of genre altogether. Doing eyebrows in this colour with a thin kind of flimsy brush like this. This is a fine liner brush. And I don't like using fine liner brushes because on eyebrows, though they're really good because it can give you the accuracy you need, very good. It's really annoying because it's not like a hard thin brush. It's actually a really long thin brush that kind of just, yeah, that is just a bit floppy and it's just hard to control. For someone with a really harsh hand, I find using a thin brush that is hard to control really hard to control. I started my website actually, and I've actually published the website. This website was published because obviously I said to myself, like, I've always wanted to find a place where I could find information very easily about makeup. And for people who don't understand what I mean, have you ever gone on a website? Have you ever like tried to find a product and you tried to find information about a product you wanted to buy and you can never really find the information fast enough or properly, and you just feel like really annoyed because you're going out and you don't know if the product you want to use is good or not. So I said, like, let's make a blog where we don't really like, you know, obviously with time, you know, people will do sponsorship, like partnerships, and ask me to review their items. But obviously this blog is supposed to be a blog where do not look at things and quickly say, oh, okay, that must be the best product ever. We need to look at the product, use the product, and give our honest opinions about the product. So I started this website because I wanted to make sure that I gave people good honest. This meant that I had to really be honest about everything and actually disclose a lot of information to people about products and why each product was good, which was good for me because I didn't have to lie at this point. Because sometimes we feel obliged to make other people feel better, to help aid their company or their career so we don't get blackballed. But I think people deserve an honest face to buy their product. Because imagine the amount of times I've gone to buy a product and I couldn't really like find the product that I wanted, that was, you know, working the way I wanted it to, and I just felt uncomfortable while buying the product. So I would often like just find it really embarrassing asking people on the counter about the product I wanted to get and what if the product was good. And they didn't know, because sometimes people don't all use the same products. Not everyone is using the same products as you. Not everyone's tried the product, and you want to go to a place where you can find information about products and know what the best product for you to use is. So I said, I'm going to do that. And I started like telling people what products I was using each time I used it. So it became much more easier to take note of what products I liked and what products I didn't like very fast. And I found out there was a lot of products that were mid, and there was a lot of products that were really good, and I would definitely buy it over and over again. And I needed to record that. I needed to tell people, because it's so hard to get makeup that is good for you when you first start. So it was like I needed to make sure I got makeup that was suitable for other people to use as well. So far I've made 2 product reviews on my blog, and I've also made like little different vlogs explaining each video I do on YouTube, and the planning, the process, and why I picked the topic, so that people can go and press it whenever they want. Because a lot of people, they're guessing what each video is about. Because imagine you have to click on a YouTube video to find out what the YouTube video is about, and you only get the one thing that they're going to give you: the title and the thumbnail. Which for Mr. Beast, that's amazing, because people are so used to going to his videos and knowing what the next video is going to be, the quality of the video. But when you are starting out, it is so hard to get people to watch your content. And it's partly because people don't know what to expect. They don't know what they're going to look for. So the worst thing was when I would go to places that I had to be social in, and people assumed that the video was being nasty towards them or hurting their ideas or their opinions, and so they would get a bit grumpy. They would say that I was sabotaging them or trying to put information out about people and their private lives, and I was like, no. I was like, it's really not about that. Like the homewrecker video that everyone was talking about and thinking that it was about me, breaking up with someone's boyfriend and trying to get into someone's marriage and ruin their marriage. No. And it was weird because people hadn't clicked on the video, but they had stalked the page and seen that page and seen that post, and they automatically assumed that the post was about that. When it really wasn't about that. It was about opening up about, my feminine self and being confident about myself. But people wasn't able to click on the video, so I obviously didn't get a lot of views, but I got a lot of backlash for the content that I obviously posted, because no one was clicking on it. So I made an idea, and I was like, to stop people from assuming what each video was about, make a page. And though I'm not profiting from the amount of people who click on the page, I am profiting from the amount of people who will view the video. Because if you tell people what the video is going to be about and what inspired you, they're going to be more willing to actually type the video up and watch the video. Because people are so judgmental. People don't want to see something that they can't trust, and that's how people are. If you're not used to watching content that you haven't seen before, and you can't rely on the content being good, you are going to turn around and be like, I'm not going to watch that, and you're going to guess what the content's about. So obviously quickly I was like, I knew what I needed to do and how to respond. And also I really wanted to make a blog so that people who can't watch videos, who don't have time to watch videos, can actually access information faster. Because there's elderly people and they prefer watching blog, like reading articles and stuff like that, and not watching videos. And also it was also like the backlash that I got from people, that they said that TikTok was ruining their careers and TikTok was like ruining people accessing information, and it wasn't really, and like it was like brainwashing people. And I said truthfully, like for people who don't like who don't like the understanding that TikTok's just another way of getting information out quicker. Because imagine you have to go up to people and actually ask them to release information for you. It can be really exhausting. So, like, obviously I knew that I had to be really like intelligent about how I got my information out. So I made my website. This project was something that was so easy to make. Like, I think it was more easier than the idea of making a children's book. And that idea was me. I had like an idea and I was like thinking about this all the time. I was like, I'm gonna make a children's book about my dog. That idea has not sailed, but it has kind of like carried on being a pre-existence of me. Where I've kind of like said, you know, when I have time, I'll make like a children's novel about my baby boy Billy. And it's basically going to be a Billy's adventure, and it's so fun because I'm collecting like information, I'm getting books, like I'm getting ideas from him, I'm getting moments that I've had with him, and I'm so happy that I'm getting those moments with him, because it means that I can actually like I can actually put those together and put into a book, which is so fun. And I think it's so fun because, you know, Billy is such a funny dog. Like, I'm not even joking, he is so hilarious. He makes me laugh so much. And so ever since I got him, I was like, oh my god, like he's actually my double stunt. Like, he's my double ganger, if that makes sense. Like, me and him work together to achieve like goals and things that we want to do. We go together outside, we're like glue. And for people who don't know that, that's actually the biggest thing for me, is that he's my funny sidekick, and I'm his like funny little owner. Like, it's kind of like Wallace and Gromit kind of personality kind of thing with me and Billy. And I know it is because we often are just laughing our heads off, we're just messing around. And for the outside world, people think that we're just being silly or being like really like obnoxiously annoying, when we're not. We're just generally happy. Like, and it's kind of funny because for people, they don't see how two things that are completely different from each other are happy. Like, if I saw someone laughing with a dog, I would think they were crazy. But the thing is, Billy is a really funny like animal. Like, he actually generally makes me laugh. He's like very social. He's a very social being kind of dog. He's a very social animal. He always knows how to kind of make you crack a smile. And a lot of owners don't see it like that. A lot of owners see dogs as just, you know, animals that live with them. And, you know, they just there, you know, you just stroke them. But for me, I don't see that with Billy. I see him as like one of our house members. Like, we live with him, we bathe him, we feed him, we talk to him, I go to bed with him. So for people, they don't see that, you know, your pet is, for me, my pet is like my best friend. He's the person I talk to. Well, he's not a person, but he's an animal I talk to. And though he doesn't like respond back in English, he has humanoid emotions that we have. So he knows how to feel sad, he knows how to feel embarrassed, he knows how to understand when he's wrong, he knows to be punished, he knows when he wants to eat, he knows when he's hungry. And people don't realize that that's what makes it better. Like, being able to spend time with your pet, and he's like the best part of my day. Like, he makes me laugh and then I make him laugh, and it's like, you know, it's how we are. And though he can't speak, it's like that companionship you have with your animal. And I think people just don't see it. I think if we released another Wallace and Gromit, and like Wallace and Gromit was still going on, I think people would change their tone about companionships with animals. Because companionships with animals are so amazing. Like, that's the epitome of how people are. That's what makes people stronger. So obviously, you know, I do get a lot of judgmental stares. I got people thinking like, oh, why do you like have so much fun with only your dog? But it's like, you know, I don't need to call up my friend and ask her to hang out with me. Well, sometimes I do. Like, I'm not gonna be like completely antisocial, but sometimes I don't need to call up my friend when I can just take my dog for a walk and he will go and play with another person's dog, and then I end up talking to their owner and we start joking about, you know, how our dogs like eating from the bowl but then going and eating our food afterwards. That is kind of how I want to have my family, like my pets and everything. And I think if we keep on releasing movies where we show animals that also with humanoid instincts, like obviously there's like movies where they show dogs that talk, like, you know, pets that talk, because you need to know that. It's kind of like Gru in Guardian of the Galaxy. Like, if you don't know Gru, though Gru only says one word, he knows how to love you. He knows how to care for you. He cares about Peter Quill so much. And I think it's people just don't see it like that. People see it as like, oh, how can an animal love? And it does. It loves so much. And ever since I got Billy, I became so in love with everything around me. I stopped hating people. I stopped wanting to seek revenge on people. And it was actually disgusting because people often thought, oh, like, don't you want to kill everyone in the street? And it's like, no. I just stopped feeling like I needed to be revengeful. I stopped feeling angry because when I saw my little baby and I saw him like running around, I just didn't care about those people anymore. You just don't care anymore. You just think, that lady that shouted at me on the street, she's a fucking bitch, but she don't matter. Because when we get home and we close the door behind us, that bitch doesn't really matter because she's just some random bitch that thought she could laugh at me. You know, and you just start to notice it with yourself, like the things that make you happy, the things that make you sad. And so Billy became my best friend, and you know, I got his haircut, and I said this to someone at the vets as well. Like, you know, when you get a pet, and some people forget this, when you get a pet, you need to know that your pet is it's not just an animal that lives with you. You don't just like, yeah, it's a thing. It's not an object. It's not like a little table that just sits there and has no movement. It doesn't move. It's actually a thing that lives with you. It's a human. It has a heartbeat. So why would you just leave it? It's a mammal. You know, why would you leave it on its own and just put like a dog collar and just say fuck off and just leave it and not joke with it? So yeah, Billy's one of those social dogs, and I always get really angry. Like, I used to get really angry when I was doing things, like when I was filming videos and he would start barking in the background. But he hasn't done it in ages. Like, he doesn't do it so much these days. He kind of just, he knows when to like back off and give me space. So yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm so surprised how like really well drawn my eyebrows are getting. Like, before, my eyebrow drawings were so bad. Like, I was actually having a conversation with someone in my college about this, and I said, like, my ability to draw eyebrows have gotten better over the years, and I said this on my blog. Like, I'm still learning how to draw eyebrows. Eyebrows are so hard to draw because they're kind of like, it's like a shape that not everyone knows how to do. It's not something you do every day. You don't do a shape like on your face like that. So for people, it's like, how do I draw something onto my face, or how do I fill in or shape a thing on my face? I said this in my blog when I was reviewing the Got to Be Glue eyebrow glue, and I said to them, like, some people are trying to find like products that were really good for beginners with their eyebrows. Because when I first started doing eyebrows, I suffered with doing eyebrows. I was so humiliated. I found it embarrassing because I didn't know how to do eyebrows. And I had this thing where I would go around and I would meet someone and they would be like, I would be like to them, oh, I can't do eyebrows. And they would be like, you can always learn. And I just never got around to learning. And because I was always embarrassed, I didn't want to learn. I always said, oh, don't worry, I'll just kind of somehow know one day. And then one day I kind of got off my high horse and I said, I'm going to teach myself how to do eyebrows. And eventually I did, and now I can do eyebrows really well. Well, really well, but not as well as I need to. My friend says I'm heavy-handed, so I always take that as like a good criticism, because that is actually true. I am a heavy-handed person. I do push hard down with the eyebrow pomade or the pencil. So I need to be able to control it and use lighter strokes on my eyebrows and on other people's eyebrows too. This blue eyeshadow is really cute. I really like the blue eyeshadow. It's like this really bright, vibrant look. By the way, the base of it is not going to be white, so that's why it's all patchy. It's not going to be white. My face is actually going to be my skin color, but I wanted to make the skin color a bit lighter. And I know if someone was to watch the video in the first like how many minutes, they would have saw like a really white face and would be like, cancelled. But obviously, yeah, I am going to add a brown face to it, a brown skin color, because I want to see if I can actually turn myself into the Mad Hatter, into a Mad Hatter style vibe. I'm actually enjoying doing eyeshadow. Eyeshadow is so fun, and I don't think people give it credit, but eyeshadow is one of the funnest things to do. Scared, she's gone down a portal, and I think that's really cool. Obviously I haven't seen it myself, so I don't really know if I would say it was good, but I've seen like snippets of the video, like you know, things that they did to kind of tell the story. And I think, like, according to what people said, the Tim Burton version was extremely scary. Tim Burton version, he's gone beyond and beyond to make this the most scariest thing I've ever seen. I like messed up with the eyelashes, the bottom lashes. I have hardly any bottom lashes, so when I did the bottom lashes, it came out all over the actual lid, the bottom lid. So I've got to go back on it and just press eyeshadow onto it, which is a bit annoying. I'm so happy about my Pinterest account that I made. My Pinterest account has been going smashingly well. Like, I'm able to kind of like plan my ideas and look at different like makeup looks and like just plan my ideas really good and make mood boards. So if you want to see like my mood boards and what I create, you should definitely go on my Pinterest account. My Pinterest account's the best way of accessing information about like the makeup look that you want to do and planning it. I use Pinterest to help plan my makeup looks. Obviously I don't draw them out on Pinterest, but I obviously use Pinterest to gather information very efficiently. Because you see that people post their own like makeup looks and what their ideas are, and you just go on there. It's kind of like having a Google search. It's kind of like a little Google search, really. Me, but more eccentric, like the things that you don't normally see in Alice in Wonderland. And it turns out the plan has worked. And I can't believe it's going on this smooth. Like I always thought it would go on like really like horrible and not very comfortable. But it goes on much more smoother than I anticipate, which is kind of good. I always get nervous about putting on this like white base, because I've seen some people do this on Instagram, and when they did it I was like, oh, this must be really weird. Like they do it for a natural base, like a natural day, and I thought that was quite crazy. Like putting a white base underneath like for a natural day, I thought that was crazy. I think it's crazy and I don't understand people who do it, but you go girl. Because a white base must feel like uncomfortable, because when I use the white paint it feels dry. Like I can't lie to you, it feels really dry having it on. It feels like I have another layer of something on. Luckily I have my concealer here. I was like trying to ravage through my stuff to find my concealer. Okay, I'm gonna conceal my under eye, brighten it up a bit. I'm gonna have to clean my brushes after because I have to go and do something tomorrow, and I love putting on my makeup, so I've been noticing with my streams have gotten to the point where like loads of people have been like viewing my streams, and I'm so proud of that. I think that's really lovely, like people going and like clicking on my streams on Twitch and like saying that they really enjoy certain contents. Obviously the contents they like is my reactions to like certain videos or things that they find interesting. And it's cool because I'm also interested in the thing that they find interesting, so it's kind of like, it doesn't feel like torture reacting to those contents, and it makes me so smiley when I see people like, you know, you know, commenting on it or saying, oh yeah, I watched your stream yesterday, and it's like, yeah, I know, I posted a stream. Oh my gosh. The eyes are coming better than I thought they would. I'm so glad I put the white base on, because I knew that the eyeshadow might not show the way I wanted it to, but it actually worked in my favor. I have to set the face, so the next layer I have to set, because if I don't set the makeup, the foundation that I put on, it will move and it will shift. So I have to set. The thing with me is I have really chubby cheeks, so this is really weird, but I have to work with my defenses, and my defenses is I have not got a slim face. So not having a slim face means I have to contour to make myself look very tiny. And it's weird because I don't particularly hate that. I think that's kind of like, you know, the whole point of makeup, doing stuff that you don't normally have to do, you don't normally do to get enhanced looks. But it's kind of weird because like it means like really going above and beyond to really contour so you can get the effect that you need, the right effect. It's so weird because I'm trying to contour it so it has an effect that I want it to have, and it's so weird because I'm doing stuff that I don't normally do with a darker shade so I can have a contoured effect. Oh my god, the nose is exactly how I want it to be. I'm going to put some shine on it, but it has like a bit of a golden effect shine. my gosh. Finally. Okay, I'm gonna put some on my chin, and I wanna have an optical illusion of like this kind of like crazy eccentric man. Then I'm gonna brighten my under eyes with a powdered like lighter brown. Essentially, it's actually coming together better than I thought it was going to be, which is quite good. Popping balloons with guns, getting high off helium. Obviously, I got to go in with this palette because this palette is like the most rustiest, dustiest, not even the most brightest yet like orange I've ever seen. I want it to be bright orange. If I have to, I'll go into my eyeliner palette and just start dipping in there. The overall plan that I made of to look. So if you guys like this video, please subscribe, follow, and I wish you guys all the best. I'm gonna make a TikTok of this and obviously post it and then upload this video. So thank you guys and see you later. Bye.